History is a lie.
How were Jews described in Europe before Ashkenazis became the majority? From Nature, Knows No Color Line by J.A. Rogers, page 123. Quote, Waite says, an interesting gradation of all shades down to the black is exhibited by the Jews. Especially dark were the Jews of Spain and Portugal. The Portuguese Jews were very dark, says Pritchard. The Duchess de Brante, wife of Napoleon's ambassador to Portugal, said that the Jew, the Negro, and the Portuguese could be seen in a single person. So dark were the Jews, especially of Portugal and southern Spain, that many whites thought all Jews were black or dark. Another source can be found from The Natural History of Man by James Cowles Pritchard. Quote, the Jews of Portugal are very dark. More corroborating evidence can be found from the Memoirs of the Secret Services of John Mackay, Esquire, published in 1733. Daniel, Earl of Nottingham, Secretary of State, is eldest son to Mr. Finch, Lord Chancellor in the reign of King Charles II. He hath also the exterior air of business and application, enough to make him very capable. In his habit and manners very formal. A tall, thin, very black man, like a Spaniard, or Jew, about 50 years old. We can appreciate that even in the 1700s, people from the British Isles recognized Jews to be of a dark complexion, like their Secretary of State, Daniel Finch, 2nd Earl of Nottingham. By the way, this is supposed to be a contemporary painting of Daniel Finch, Earl of Nottingham. This man is clearly of a fair complexion, not dark, like a Jew, as he is described. Just a little peek into the whitewashing of history. Finally, from Shakespeare and the Jews, by James Shapiro.
Shakespeare and the Jews, from James Shapiro. All right, and we're about on page 171 of this book, when William Brereton jotted down his impressions of the Jews in the synagogue in Amsterdam in 1635. Amsterdam, again, that's in the Netherlands, Holland, all right, the Dutch, this is a Dutch synagogue, Dutch people, right, Amsterdam, 1635. He's going to let you know that. He noted that the Jewish men are most black. They're most black, the Jews. Who was the Jews? Again, who was the Jews that were in Amsterdam? Most of those Jews, all right, had fled from Spain and Portugal. Sephardic Jews who were what? Most black. It says, and when the Scottish minister Robert Kirk toured London in January 1690, he also paid a visit to the synagogue there. Now, this is a whole other different country. Right now, he's in England. Now, a whole different person, letting you know what he saw when he went in the synagogue, the Jewish synagogue in London, all right, in 1690. He observed over 200 Jews worshiping, 200. All right, 200 people, 200 Jews. He noted in his journal that they were all very black men. Again, Jews worshiping in a synagogue in London. They were what? All very black men. All very black men. Sephardic Jews. Who was in London as a Jew? A lot of these, again, were Sephardic Moorish Jews from Portugal and Spain. A lot of these were Huguenots, so-called Huguenots.
What else have they lied about? IsraeliteBot knows. Go to IsraeliteBot.com and ask Lincoln.
Hey, so there you have it. You know? But first and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai Ba'ashem, Rokakudash. Yahweh is who this world ignorantly calls God. Yahweh Shai is who this world ignorantly calls Jesus. Ba'ashem means in the name, Rokah means spirit, and Kodash means holy. That's on the Paleo Hebrew. I also want to give double honors to the elder bishops and apostles of Great Millstone that taught me this truth. And today's video, I wanted to go into how there is so much proof about how the so-called Negroes are the real Jews, right? Not those pale looking, wimpy ass hair, little black hat wearing, people over there in the land of Israel right now. They are not the true Israelites as a collective. The true Israelites are the so-called Latinos, Negroes, and Native Americans as a collective, okay? And the Jews would be what you call today the so-called Negroes. So in that video, you saw all types of receipts showing you how the Jews are actually dark-skinned. And the reason why we don't have this information readily accessible today is because it has been hidden. And ultimately, it has been hidden because if everybody would know who the true Israelites are today, they would also know who the true Edomites are today. So let's go to Job chapter 9 and verse 24. It says, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? right? So the earth right now has been given into the hand of the wicked, which the wicked is talking about the Edomites, okay? In Isaiah 14, it refers to them as the seed of evildoers. And in Malachi, the first chapter, it refers to them as the border of wickedness, right? They are the wicked. And they have covered the faces of the judges. Who are the judges? The Israelites, okay? And that's talking about iconoclasm, which iconoclasm is essentially when you change the art, you change the art, the imagery. And a perfect example of that was, that one, I think it was Finch. It was a king, I think. And it said in one of the receipts that he was tall and dark skinned. And when you look at the modern painting, it's a pale white looking dude, which is not accurate at all as to what they actually described him as. So that right there is covering the faces of the judges, right? Iconoclasm. And I'm going to get a scripture here showing you that the Israelites were dark skinned. And we'll close it off. Quick video. Lamentations chapter 4. And when you go into what this is talking about, verse 2, the precious sons of Zion. So giving you the context. Verse 8, their visage is blacker than a coal. They are not known in the streets. Their skin cleaveth to their bones. It is withered. It is become like a stick. Right? And that right there shows you that their visage, right? Visage goes into visual appearance, is blacker than a coal. Right? These Israelites were very, very dark skinned. So, hey, there you have it. Straight out of the scripts. So, hopefully this was edifying. With that, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh B'Hashem, Yahweh Shai B'Hashem, Rakakwadash, and double honors to the elder bishops and apostles of Great Millstone that taught me this truth. Shalom to you, like Shalom.